Hello and welcome to the Produce Aisle. Today I want to reveal to you the most shocking production advice I have ever heard. I heard this piece of advice from Sie Medway-Smith, who is just an extremely credentialed producer who's worked with David Guetta, Ellie Goulding, Massive Attack, the Chemical Brothers, and he's also a software developer for Ableton Live. I think that he knows what he is talking about, and he told me this. Don't touch the faders. What? Gain holds the key to the quality of the sound. Volume does not. Think of volume as a secondary process, like an effect, like reverb or delay, something that you would add later. I think the term gain staging is annoying because it makes it seem like something that's separate. It's just a way of thinking about getting the signal to be good all the way through the process. So I guess this is about gain staging, but let's just call it the mindset of how things are done now. Faders are just too easy to mess up. How many times has this happened where you've like scrolled up and down only to realize that you messed up one of the faders, and then it can take a long time to fix, and it's a whole like whack-a-mole situation. You raise something up and then you have to lower something else and then raise something else up, and it's just, this is not mixing, folks. This is frustrating yourself to no end and building a castle on sand. It is less confusing when you have good signal levels on everything first, and that's something that you deal with gain. This gives you better control over the original signal and lets you have more headroom for dealing with it as well. You want to shape the sound, not just like raise and lower it. Next, you want to use compression to tame and shape the sound. So if something is just too loud that turning the gain down doesn't really make the difference that you want or doesn't give you the range of control that you need, you can compress it to adjust it. And then you have control over the input and output of that sound through the compressor. So between gain and compression, you can sort out your levels much more easily and more sanely than you ever could with faders. The only place I tend to use volume faders now is when I'm fading or swelling MIDI, which I show in my video on fading. So try this for yourself and see if it helps you with your workflow. I know that it's been just game changing for me, and I thought I would share it because it's not something I've ever heard anybody on YouTube talk about. So let's just go through a little bit of an example. All of the faders are at unity, that is 0. When I am scrolling up and down like this, it's just like way too easy to accidentally move one of these guys, right? While I'm meaning to just like go up. And so I just double click it to bring it back to unity, and knowing that it's always at unity is helpful. If indeed I do need something dealt with as far as volume goes, like a MIDI track, let's do an automation on a MIDI track, and let me show you this sub-reese, which I will dim solo here. So let's put a volume automation on it, and I'll show you what that does to the fader and how it just makes your life easier, and it means that you can't mess it up. Open this up, hit the W, and then while holding on to this, I can hit play and we'll draw in some automation. That's called an envelope, this line. I'm going to take it off right. So now what happens when I play it is that you see the fader moving on its own? Like I'm not touching it there. It's automated. So what's cool now is that if I wanted to just bring this down, the second it starts playing, it'll snap back up. So you can't mess it up accidentally. On this sub-reese, this is a Vital synth, and I can also control the loudness here. And all virtual instruments have some sort of internal volume control, and I would call that really gain because it's happening at the original signal. I can change that here, make it louder or softer here as I need to. You see how I just get so much more flexibility when I'm using gain. There's several places before volume can even come into play. I am just more limited with volume than I am with gain. And it's easier to balance everything when I've dealt with the gain first and only. The other way that I can tame and shape the sound is through compression. Right now I have some compression on this Reese so that if it's just too loud, then I have control over it here too. Lots more flexibility with the power of the signal that you can't really get with volume. I hope that makes sense. If this was helpful or new to you, please leave a comment and hit the like button and see if this shocked you. Was this surprising? Had you heard this before? I would love to know, because this was really shocking for me and changed everything about how I did everything. Have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.